In this video, I'll be showing what the Sakura display looks like in Gardens by the Bay. This is a yearly display in Gardens by the Bay where they bring live cherry blossoms and display it. If you haven't seen it before, it's pretty impressive because it's a large indoor greenhouse essentially, and it allows them to have plants and trees that are not native to Singapore.
So we're heading now down towards the main area of the display here. I think there's supposed to be 5:45, some kind of dance. Oh no, it's the mochi pounding. This is the view of Marina Bay and then the Singapore Flyer, and then some of CBD.
The restaurant.
Oh, okay,
Quite
Mortis.
a nice restaurant, but I think we have to make a reservation.
Oh, I don't remember seeing this here actually last time.
Here's the start of the Sakura display. Up ahead is a building that hosts the indoor portion of the exhibit. Later in the video we check out what's inside, which is a bunch of booths dedicated to different prefectures around Japan. And throughout the day they'll have various people come in and demonstrate things like a dance or perhaps making food.
So this is the start of the Sakura display. You can see informational poster card here. And then, of course, it's sponsored by ANA. Singapore, I guess some Japanese societies here. And then probably a restaurant, Ike Nobo. I wonder what that is. It looks like it's inspired by the Hiroshima Torii Gate. That's kind of, I guess, why they built this temperature-controlled dome, so that they can have these kind of non-native to Singapore plants here.
Here's a bit of a view of the main part of the exhibit with all of the cherry blossoms. There are probably a good 20 to 30 trees in this general area. An underrated benefit to the flower dome is that it's cool here, so that allows the cherry blossom trees to live. It was also great for us because we were hot from cycling all the way here. This building is supposed to be a copy of Kinkakuji, which is located in Kyoto. It's a beautiful Zen temple. The real thing is much larger and much more impressive to see. However, I thought the display here did a good job of capturing what it's kind of like to be in Japan during the cherry blossom season, and also some of the highlights associated with that season.
I wonder, I guess it'll take a while for them to actually bloom. Probably this is on purpose, so there's always cherry blossoms no matter what time you come.
It started like, I see a little bit.
Oh yeah, like this one, you can kind of see it. This golden pavilion is supposed to be reminiscent of Kinkakuji, which is the golden pavilion in Kyoto. We've seen the real one in our last trip to Japan. This is probably around a 1/20th scale or less, but it's pretty cool that it's here in the middle of Gardens by the Bay and the flower dome. I see this close up, it kind of does remind me of the real Kinkakuji, because I remember we're making our way around Kinkakuji, and then towards the end there is a view like this in the real one. There's like a pond, and then it kind of leads to this platform. That in the real Kinkakuji, it's actually hard to get a shot of just the building itself until you're at the end, and it's also like it here too. You have to wait till the end of the cube to kind of get a unblocked view of it. Here's another part of the display. It seems to be a tatami covered room, and it's surrounded by the cherry blossoms as well as a bed of flowers. Having been to a few Japanese gardens, the layout sort of reminded me of that. In Japanese gardens, there's often viewing platforms just like what you see in front of you to see the garden. Quite a few of them are actually tea houses as well, so it's nice to get a drink and then just watch. We just finished with the main exhibit and we're heading into the indoor part of this where I believe they have some more cultural things related to Japan. I think what's represented here is different prefectures in Japan and their specialty. And I can kind of hear the mochi pounding, which is like a dessert in Japan. There's like different booths promoting different prefectures.
So they're actually covering different regions in Japan. Hokkaido and Tohoku are up in the north, Kanto is roughly where Tokyo is in the middle, and Chubu is a bit south of that. There are a few other regions which cover the rest of Japan, at least mainland Japan, including where Osaka and Kyoto are. Domestic tourism is actually a big thing in Japan. When I was living there, I was constantly flooded with advertisements to visit different prefectures. The advertisements would often be in terms of food or experiences that you can only see in those regions. There were many events that were happening. This screen shows some other events that were happening today. The whole event lasts multiple weeks, so in each week there'll be some unique events. Although the event had ended, we were still checking out some of the booths. As you can see, they had some goods for sale and also just some information. After the indoor portion, we realized there was more to the exhibit on the outside, so we went around the entire outside of the exhibit. Here they have a display of a tatami mat room, although it's actually outside in the garden.
This is a very quick tour. I think we were only here for, was it like less than an hour probably? Yeah, very short.
Mostly because we kind of checked out the other part of
Yeah, and we're kind of late too, just because the food was gone basically, and then the exhibit. So probably good to come earlier in the day if you want to see some of the performances. I recommend to check the schedule. It's not all on one page. That's one feedback I'd give to the organizers. Not all of the events are in one page. That would be nice to know. But otherwise, you can always see the exhibit here, and you can kind of see the full exhibit just all in this shot. It just consists of Kinkakuji replica, the torii gates, the bridge, and then the cherry blossoms, of course. Actually, it looks even better from this side. This is the platform we were on earlier. And then you can see like kind of the path of people here making their way through the exhibit. They also had kind of like a setup here, very traditional setup for watching the cherry blossoms. Oh yeah. So I guess they had like a tea ceremony set up here. It seems like they have the koto, it's like a traditional instrument. And then they also have like a tatami mat room over there. Here's what's at the end of the exhibit. They have another sign here about shrine. Normally in Japan you can actually sign these, but in this case it's just pre-printed. And usually they have prayers.
After the exhibit, you're directed to the Gardens by the Bay gift store here. There didn't seem to be anything unique to the Sakura display, so this is more of just an all-year-round store. There's also a place to get some snacks outside, but we would recommend actually going to the hawker center that's not too far if you're looking for lunch. The hawker center is called Satay by the Bay, and we have another video upcoming on that hawker center as well. Outside is the exterior of the two domes, the Cloud Forest and the Flower Dome, which the Sakura exhibit is in. As you can see, it's a pretty busy bike path and pedestrian path that leads to Gardens by the Bay. That's the end of this video, so if you're curious about more places in Singapore, do like and subscribe and we'll have more in the next one.